When people come to me in sleep clinic and they're struggling with their children's sleep, adjusting the timing of when they go to bed at night is the secret sauce I use that may help people who are having a hard time or have tried and failed in the past to sleep train. A lot of the time you can fix that by a later bedtime. Some kids biologically aren't ready for bed at bedtime. Their body clocks are set a little bit later than other kids, and moving it later just will feel a lot more comfortable for them. And the fact is, if your child is fussing for an hour every night and you move their bedtime an hour later, you're not cheating them out of sleep anyway. Let's talk a little bit more about this. And we have to get, once again, into the mechanism of why kids fall asleep at a certain time. So, this is what we call sleep drive. Essentially, it increases from when you wake up in the morning to when you go to bed at night. Your sleep drive increases. When you have a later bedtime, you're actually increasing your child's sleep drive. So it's almost like giving someone a sleeping medication by keeping them up a little bit later. Now, another part of this is late afternoon naps can cause a lot of difficulty. So again, let's just look at our diagram of sleep drive. If your child has a late afternoon nap, say is napping after 4 p.m. or later than 3 to 4 hours when you're trying to put him or her to bed, you're going to have some trouble there. So really, we want bedtime to happen a minimum of 3 and often more than 4 hours between when that last nap ends. And I'd say a good rule of thumb is you should be getting your child up from their nap around 4. That means you can put them to bed between 7 or 8, and they'll probably be sleepy enough if they take a late afternoon nap. Now, one added wrinkle I alluded to, the forbidden zone, okay? I want to explain this a little bit more because it's a really important concept that can explain some apparently mysterious behavior. So here's our diagram of sleep drive, okay? But it's not just sleep drive that determines when you fall asleep and when you wake up. There's also the wakefulness drive, okay? And what happens is this peaks after dinner time. This is just so, as we evolved as a species, you could stay awake in the evening hours until you found a safe place to sleep. But this has significant implications for bedtime. So let's take a closer look at this peak. This is what Judy Owens and some other sleep doctors have called the forbidden zone. And the reason is, if you have bedtime right in the middle of this time period, you're going to have significant difficulties. And the way that this shows up is if your child gets really hyperactive around bedtime, you're probably in the middle of this forbidden zone, of this peak in the wakefulness drive. So moving your bedtime later, as we talked about, gets you past this and also gives you increased sleep drive. Now, for younger kids, say less than a year, or kids with later bedtime, sometimes going earlier by half an hour may be helpful as well. You kind of have to play with this a little bit. This is what Mark Weiss talked about in his book with moving bedtime earlier for kids. And again, I had some great feedback from my Facebook page. Parents, when they're responding to a post about this. Oh my God, this is what mine does. Always experimenting with what our developmental stage is in. He's walking more, babbling. When he gets super active, I've learned that starting bedtime will be within 30 or 40 minutes. It's crazy. So again, with a good bedtime, you may find that your kid gets kind of spazzy, and then you have bedtime 30 or 40 minutes later. It's great. Another parent noted, and this we've all observed this, your kids have to go to bed at a certain time or not till an hour and a half later, because that 7:30 to 9 o'clock zone, that's the forbidden zone. So here are the steps. First off, we talked off, if your kid's falling asleep without difficulty, don't make any changes. But if you have problems with bedtime, move your child's bedtime at least 30 minutes later. If your child's falling asleep, still taking longer than that, you could even try 60 minutes later. Again, I wouldn't go past 9 or 9:30 really here. I'd make sure there are at least 3 or 4 hours between napping and bedtime. And you may need to play with this a little bit. I'd say while you're working on the other facets of bedtime, try moving things a little bit later or a little bit earlier just to see what works better for you.